Well, everyone, today we are interviewing the one, the only Mr. Smoke. Okay. Smoke, thank you. Thank you for having me interview you. My name is Sir Williams, and today we're going to go over your latest EP. We're going to talk about Pain in Progress.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for interviewing me, my guy.
Of course, any day of the week. So here we go. The first question I have for you is so this is a three-song EP. We have Been Through It, we have Simple Life, and then we have My Whole Life. So for those three songs, why those three songs? Because I'm sure you had like a bunch in the tank, but you chose those three specifically. So why those three?
So the two of them were just random songs that were made, but they kind of flow together, like subject matter wise. So, um, I kind of kept those two together, and one of them I actually released as a single, which was Simple Life. And it did pretty good actually. Um, and then I knew I wanted to put that on an EP. Um, and then a good friend of ours passed away, Bernie Bernardo Say,
Yes, yes. Rest in peace.
Bern Hardy, aka the GOAT. Um, and that's how the third song, Been Through It, came about. Um, I just produced it, made a beat. Of course, it was sad at the time, so kind of gives off that vibe a little bit. And then another one of our good friends, Justin, aka Match My Aura, he wrote the hook and sang the hook. And then I had another good friend of mine from Charlotte, Tony G. He did a verse on there too. So that's kind of how that EP came about. It wasn't really meant to be an EP. It just kind of happened.
A lot of hands on this.
Oh yeah.
And did you mix this yourself? Did you master this yourself? How did that go about?
So Simple Life and My Whole Life. Bernard produced those two records and he mixed and mastered those two records. I produced Been Through It and I mixed and mastered that one.
Okay. And this project all together came out, I think, early January, correct?
Yep. January.
January 7th. Yes.
Yep.
So, my next question for you is was there anything specific that happened that made you write Simple Life, or was there something specific that made you inspired to write Been Through It?
Yeah, so Been Through It, that like I said, that was kind of right after Bern passed away, like maybe a couple of months after Bern passed away. Um, which was a dark time for all of us really. Um, and that was kind of my way of venting and kind of expressing how I was feeling about everything at the time. Simple Life, that was just inspired by wanting to have a simple life, like, you know, um, just always working and always being on go. Sometimes you never have time to really stop and either take a break or soak it all in or enjoy the fruits of your labor. So that's where Simple Life came from. And I mean, who doesn't want head and a comfortable bed?
So, so this EP, like it's been out for about 3, 4 months now. So in the process of it being out, like, are you booked to perform any of these tracks live anywhere?
I am not currently.
Is that something in the foreseeable future that you are going to do?
For sure, for sure. I'm trying to get past those like open mic type stages because I feel like I've been doing that for so long.
I agree 1,000%. It feels very What's the word? It feels very or not
At
organized.
this point.
Yeah, it feels very like basic. That's the word.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it, but when you've been doing music as long as we have, that it kind of doesn't serve a purpose anymore.
Yeah, it gets old quick.
Exactly. So I'm looking to try to figure out how to get like paid gigs or even more showcases, more sponsored stuff. Oh.
Have you ever thought about doing anything with sync or like maybe commercials or anything like that?
Yes, I have thought about it, and I actually do submit some of my stuff through United Masters because that's where I release most of my music from, um, and they have lots of different things you can submit your songs to, different playlists, and they have partnerships with like Snapchat and yeah, either Pepsi or Coca Cola. I can't remember which one right now, but right. I haven't gotten selected for any, but I still submit. You never know.
Of course, I'm a page stalker, so I stalked your page. The content you've been pumping out has been exquisite. And you didn't always film, it looks like your own content. So when did that start for you?
That actually just started like a few months ago, to be honest. I want to say maybe late last year, late 2024, like October, November ish. I was just like, I gotta do it. Just gotta do it.
You're just like, it's happening.
Yeah, it's just no more procrastinating because I get in my own way a lot, so I just had to do it.
Well,
Yeah.
it looks really good. I'm very, very impressed.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. It's not the greatest, but at least the quality is there.
Whatever, whatever. It doesn't have to be the greatest, it just has to
That's all
deliver
I
the message.
quality and consistency. That's all I care about.
Facts. So, how do you see your music evolving past this point, past this EP? Like, what's next? Like, where do you see yourself developing, even sonically? That's my question for you.
That's a very good question, and I think I'm always trying to figure that out. Because I never want to box myself in, and I never want to give people an opportunity to box me in either. So, um, I'm constantly kind of jumping back and forth between rap and R&B. So I don't know. I might make a an R&B EP next. That might be next on the list.
Maybe blend the two nicely.
Mm-hmm. I
I
mean,
think that would be very interesting. I think, hearing you sing certain hooks uh, gives like a different texture to your voice, and I think personally, as a person who listens to your music, even a higher register hook or something like that would be really interesting to hear some harmony, some background vocals from you. Would be something I would look for as a fan of yours.
thank you, man. I need some training on that because I'm so basic when it comes to or safe, basic or safe, whatever word people choose to use. But I'll go with safe. I'm safe when it comes to like the harmonies and stuff like that. I don't try to delve too far outside of my realm or comfort zone, I should say.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that if you push through that envelope, you will succeed for sure, especially with the skills that you have currently.
Thank you very much.
So another follow-up question. This is a big one. You are a father. You work. So how do you balance your music life and your home life?
I usually wait until my son is at one of his grandparents' house or sleeping, whichever one comes first.
Do you run into that situation that most artists do? Like you're working, and then you're so burnt out that you can't even think of making a song right now.
Yes.
So
That's
how do you get through that? Like what's your take on that, your steps?
um either listen to my old stuff or just listen to other people's music, whether that's your music, anybody else in World Walkers, or like old school songs, some of my favorite hip hop R&B songs or reggae songs, and going outside a lot, like doing stuff, experiencing life. Also, I think that's where most people's writer's block comes from, or creative blocks. Well, I'll say for me, it's kind of not being outside a lot, like as a parent, as a boyfriend, as a family man, you know kind of can't do a lot of the stuff that you want to do when you want to do it. So
Yeah.
as I said, most of the time I get stuff done when my son is not home.
I would say for me, what helps me from stop being blocked would be definitely going and getting those experiences, have someone steal from me, have someone do this, have someone like so that I can have something to base it off of. And then
Right.
a lot of the times, when I'm writing a song, sometimes it might not even have happened to me, but it's happened to enough of my friends
Mhm.
to where that helps. So sometimes there's nothing going on with me, but there's plenty going on with one of my boys. So that
Yeah.
works. That works out a lot because, I may have experienced that in the past or I've just seen it happen enough that it inspired.
That's how usually came about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, of course, Bernie started it off with the hook and his verse, excuse me, and at the time he was going through something, and everybody else that was on the song wasn't going through anything like that relationship wise anyway. But we all pulled from, conversations we've had with him individually and together to make that song. And it came out crazy. So you're absolutely right about that.
So I would ask you, so I've seen some of your videos, some of your content. How much money would you estimatingly be using in a lot of this content? Like in terms of gear, in terms of like, outfits, like how much are you roughly spending? Are you breaking the bank? Are you saving the money? Or like how's it looking?
So a little bit of both. I break the bank with my gear, like my camera and all the like music equipment that you see behind me. Like those are probably like my most expensive items, and I mean, and the cars that you see in the videos. But for the most part, I'm like a bargain hunter. Like you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. And I mean, I didn't have to buy a camera. I could have just used my iPhone, but I don't know. It's something about just having the camera, and I don't know. I want to make money off of video content as well. So like it's doing it for other people. So I feel like if someone hires me to do something and I show up with an iPhone, no matter how decked out my iPhone is, they're gonna be like, they're gonna be kind of, yeah, but they're gonna be kind of skeptical. You know what I'm saying? And then that also kind of makes people feel like, well, what do I need you for? I have the same phone. I can do this too. I mean, even though that's not necessarily the case, but you know how people think. But I love having my camera. I don't want to shoot with my phone. I love my camera.
I love my camera, so I'm with you 100% on that.
Like the autofocus is just superb. Like just everything we can do. I mean, the phones can do pretty much the same thing, but nah, it's nothing crispier than that Sony footage, man.
So what was, let's see. Yeah, that's a good question. What was the most challenging part of making this project?
The most challenging part of making it was making it for real because two of the songs were probably a year old by the time you guys heard it, or by the time it was released, I should say. Simple Life and My Whole Life were, yeah, about a year old by the time you guys heard it on the EP. Been Through It was probably the newest one because, like I said, after Bernie passed away, that was probably the first song I did within the first like 3 to 4 months.
Right, that makes sense.
So, but yeah, it's always. But the thing about this EP though that I like is that, like I said, I didn't go into it trying to make an EP.
Right.
I already had two songs that fit together, and then it just so happened that the third one, although the beat is kind of different from the other two, subject matter wise, it kind of fit. So I was like, hey, three piece.
So is there songs that didn't make the project? Is there things that you are debating on releasing? Is there other finish things that you're working on now? Like what's the future looking like?
There's a couple of unfinished songs. There's a couple of things that I'm trying to work on. The Trip to Pluto Part 2. Definitely want to keep traction going on that. Um, Whatever G sends through or needs me to put something on. Weekend at Bernie's Part 2. Definitely want to work on that as like a tribute album or EP. Yeah, I don't think I've worked on anything else. Nothing that's specific for any project. I know that sounds bad to say as an artist, but it's kind of difficult doing everything by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Producing, mixing, mastering, promoting, filming.
So much work.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of work. So, but I rather put out quality content, whether it's visuals or audio, over a lot of trash. Like I'd rather put a little bit of heat rock out instead of a lot of trash.
And you recently submitted two of your songs to be reviewed for Shaq's playlist. How did that go?
The first one didn't go so well.
What was wrong? Which song did you submit the first time?
First one I submitted was Way Up, which I should have known it was going to get the reaction it got. I knew it was more likely to get a bad reaction than a good reaction, but I didn't expect the dude to completely take a dump on that song. And that's one of my most favorite songs, to be honest. Like, because it wasn't meant to be a serious song. Like, I just have fun with it. Like, even though what I was saying on it, it kind of makes you think, but it was fun for me. So for somebody to completely take a dump on it like that, it was like, okay. Like, I knew people didn't like certain aspects of that song, but sheesh. So
So what happened the second song then?
So the second song that I submitted was Where We See 'Em, and I submitted the video and instead of just the audio because I knew that would kind of give me a bump in the rankings. And that went very, very well. Way better than the first one. And I think that again that had a lot to do with it being a video, it being a drill song,
Right.
and me flowing on it. I don't really think anybody was listening to the verses like that, but at this point, as a songwriter, I've kind of gotten used to the fact that when you write songs, like at this point, the verses and the bars and metaphors, that's for me. The hooks and the beats, that's for the audience. I mean, the beats are for me too because I gotta like the beat, the rap on it, but you get what I mean.
Well, Smoke, what advice would you like to give to any aspiring artists, any aspiring rappers, anybody that's trying to, either start now or they're just getting their feet wet? What advice would you have for them?
A couple pieces of advice. Learn as much as you can. Every aspect of what you need done, learn as much of it as you can because there's gonna come a point where you're gonna have to do all of those things by yourself, even if it's for a day, a week, a month, a year, 10 years. You're gonna have to do all those things by yourself at some point. The second piece of advice is just do it. Just do it. Just put it out. Who cares? We're artists. We want our music to be judged. No, we want our music to be liked. But in order for it to be liked, it has to be judged. And in order for it to be judged, there's going to be people who don't like it too. So forget about the negativity, focus on the positive. And remember, everything you do isn't for everybody. So everybody isn't going to like everything you do. It just is what it is.
They say bad press is still press.
It is. Still talking about you. So
All right, Smoke. Well, we really appreciate you for having this interview, letting me do this for you. It was a great experience just to understand where your head was at with the EP. Go check out, Pain in Progress. It's out now. Please, 3 songs. Put you on a little adventure, and thank you, Smoke, again for being here and putting out your message and letting the people know what's going on with you.
my guy, Sir Williams, thank you for doing the interview, man. I appreciate you. What do you got going on, man? What's next for you?
For me personally, I'm working on random tracks that pop in my head. I'll produce for, or maybe a friend will start to produce something for. And it's just been fun. It's been absolutely fun to explore rapping a little bit more in a melodic way, while singing. Full on rap, I'm still not there yet. Confidence needs to be built, but I'm having fun with it. I'm really enjoying it, so I think people will see that I'm having fun with it, and not really like expect too much from me. But um, in terms of music, that's what's going on. I have a few songs in the tank that are being worked on. A few features that are coming together. I'm going to be doing more features with my team, more features with other people that I've met along the way. And then in terms of filming, I've been filming events and baby showers and gender reveals and like just party events, musical events, everything. I've been doing interviews, really making use of my camera and its capabilities.
Let's get it, man.
So that's what's coming for me. So look out for it.
Let's get it, man. World
Well,
Walker Daily.
War Walkers.
Yes, sir.